I don't remember exactly what I was doing when the phrase, "it's always winter in my mind," popped into my head, but from the first time that I thought of that, it just felt right. It felt true. It's always winter in my mind. For me, winter is an almost foreign concept. You see, I'm from the quote-unquote great state of Texas, which is where I've lived nearly my entire life. And Texas is hot. It's always hot here. And yeah, it definitely cools off in the autumn and in the winter, but we don't really experience winter the same way that most other places do. It seldom freezes here, and I can count on one hand the number of times that I've ever seen a white Christmas. And so I think because of that, the season of winter has taken on a kind of mystical quality in my mind. In there, it's a thing of beauty, perfect and delightful and joyous. I think that as a direct result of my constant and seemingly never-ending exposure to the heat, I love the cold. I think it's just so nice to be bundled up in long sleeves and a blanket and to have a fire going. It's a kind of idyllic scene I've experienced only a precious few times in my life, so because of that, I can romanticize it. In my mind, winter is when the world calms down a little bit. The days grow shorter and the nights grow longer in a kind of natural zero-sum game, and part of me feels like that's the way things should be, with the night sky dominating everyone and everything. I much prefer the cool and gentle glow of the moon to the harsh and painful burning of the sun. Because I haven't experienced it and lived through cold winter after cold winter the way that others have, I romanticize the wintertime 100%. I'm not denying that for a second. I am well aware of the fact that my view of winter is not necessarily reflective of the reality of it all. But in my head, winter is kind of associated with university and academia in a weird way. I have mixed feelings about college and just formal education in general, but I definitely find myself romanticizing that experience. I talked about this a little bit in my video on Nabokov's book Panin, but there's a certain joy in being surrounded by people who have similar predilections and interests, people with whom you can really connect. And when I think of my college experience, part of me is sad because I do think I missed out on certain aspects of university life because of COVID. And to be honest, the version of college that exists in my head is very different from my actual school experience. But when I connect winter and college together, this weird view of things just kind of falls into place. I love the idea of reading late at night while the snow falls gently by your window, or I love the idea of coming together with family or loved ones and just kind of hanging out together in a sort of world away from the world. I love the thought of kissing someone under a dim streetlight on ice-covered streets with only the two of you in sight, and there's something special to me about a dark wintry forest lit only by moonlight, its barren trees twisting like gnarled fingers up to heaven. And sometimes I dream of a time when the sun sets and never rises again. Whenever I think of this version of winter that exists in my mind, it is always night, and it has to be night. In my head, this place is quiet and safe and cozy, and everyone seems to be asleep, except for me. I'm awake, and in my solitude, I sit and I wait, but not for anything in particular. Maybe I'm just waiting for change to happen and life to pass on by. The day this video goes up is actually my birthday, and I don't really look forward to birthdays anymore. This last year has been strange for me. There have been some great and absolutely phenomenal highs, but there have also been some lows, some very low lows that only seem to get deeper and deeper as I crossed through them. I think that as the seasons change and as life changes, and as I've grown, it's nice to have a dream to return to. It's nice to have an oasis of sorts, a world away from the world, just in the form of one eternal snowy night, safe and still, and all in my head. Really, I can't say I fully understand what the phrase, "it's always winter in my mind," even means. Like I said, it was just something that popped into my head one day. I wasn't trying to come up with anything, it just kind of appeared. But that thought feels like home to me. It feels safe and beautiful and comfortable. Really, I think it's a kind of longing for a place that I've never known. And maybe that's why the thought feels right to me, just because I haven't ever really known it. I haven't ever really known winter. I think it's easy to daydream about things that you don't know all that well, whether it's a new game, or a new person that you've met, or just a general idea like this one. There's a certain comfort to be found in dreaming of a place that you know you'll never be able to visit, because there, in your head, it can remain perfect and pure, untouched and untainted by reality, a kind of secret alcove that's accessible only to you. So I don't know where this place that I find myself going to is, or even if it really exists, or if it's only to be found in dreams and hazy imaginings. But where the moon shines and the dark sky over a white field of ice is where I want to be. Even if winter doesn't exist the way I imagine it, or even if this place doesn't even really exist, and even if I would hate this kind of lifestyle that I'm describing if I actually had to live it, in my dreams and in my thoughts, it's winter. It's always winter in my mind.